Your iPhone storage is not just full, it's full of secrets. And Apple loves it that way. Apple loves for us to keep coming back to the store and purchasing accessories, purchasing storage. I'm going to get into the iCloud later, but this is just a phenomenon that your Apple iPhone, for some reason, you can never have enough storage, and I don't understand that why. Hello, my name is Brett with Anvil Music and Media. Today, in this episode, we're talking about how much storage is enough storage for your iPhone. How much storage is enough storage for your computer or your iPad or your MacBook? Now, I have sort of authority in this space in that I've been using Apple products for about 20 years. I've got over 12 to 13 different computers, iPads. I've been doing this for a while, so I understand the storage game, how it works. And I want to talk to you specifically about how storage has been a headache. It's been a headache for all of us. I know that I've experienced it. I've had recent iPhones as recent as 10 years ago where, my iPhone probably had 10 or 20 gigs of storage and poof, it's gone, after 3 or 4 months. Well, today I'm going to talk to you about where that storage is possibly going. And there's some hidden compartments that it's like almost like a trash can compactor. Well, all of these things go to just stay and build up space in your iPhone. So yeah, can we talk about that today? Well, so I really understand the game of capitalism in that, number one, Apple's number one reason or their number one method is to get you to buy not just the iCloud service, but they want you to buy the phone. The phone costs between $1,500 and $2,000. You get that in, and then they want to keep you coming back. It reminds me of the good old car example. You go to the car shop or you go to the car dealership, you purchase the car. The methods of profit that the car dealership is getting from you is they're charging you, or you're going to pay to get a car. Then you're going to have to come back to get repairs. It's the old adage of, the car's supplying you a solution for you to drive around with it. But you're going to have to go back to pay for other solutions outside of you just having the car. So you have to get repairs. You may have to go back and get whatever your car needs to be serviced, oil change, etc. The same goes with Apple products. And I have a question that I'm really kind of really mulling over. And I really believe that Apple is they're just not profiting in the sales of iPhones, but it's also the sale of the iCloud and what the iCloud has to offer you. Recently, I got a message on my iMac about my iCloud storage being not enough space. Like it was 5 gigs of space, which Apple, they've been so gracious to give us 5 gigs of space. That's not a lot of space, y'all. Not when you're using a full-blown iMac. What I didn't realize is I had to go in my settings and turn this setting off so that my files that were saved from the projects that I'm working on wouldn't be saved automatically to the iCloud, so I wouldn't get this message that Apple's trying to get me to pay for a iCloud service. It's just crazy. Apple is in the business of repeat customers. So if they can get you to come back and purchase more iCloud storage, this is more money for them. And I've got some things that you can sort of, if you want to bypass that system, I definitely have. I've tried to use you just got to be creative when you have these products and you're using them and you're running out of space. Because if you're like me, you will eventually run out of storage space. So to that, let's talk about this. Number one, what is enough space? Like I recently put out a couple of videos about storage space and how much is enough storage space for your iPhone. Is 128 gigs enough? Is 256 gigs enough? Well, it all depends. I don't have a complete answer for that, but I will tell you this. You better be monitoring how much you're using. You better be in your phone almost weekly, especially if you're doing like me, recording videos, you have photos, you have just so many different types of media that you're using. This is going to be the main source that's building up in your storage, like that's taking your storage away from your iPhone. And so you got to be cognizant. You got to be very mindful of that. But there are also cache files and internet files. These are known as unknown files that are in the background that is taking up space. Apple doesn't want you to know that. No, they don't want you to know that. And what they do want you to know is, hey, you need to upgrade to the iCloud, which I absolutely hate. It's like you're using a 2011 Android. Oh, did I say that? I'm sorry. But what I'm trying to say is something's off. Like if you're always getting storage alerts on your phone, that it's clearly for this reason. It is clearly to me. I'm clear about the fact that Apple is still and has always been in the business of retaining profits. So these storage warnings, oh my gosh, they're a headache. I recently had and maybe it wasn't recent. It was an iPhone 10 that I had in a purchase a couple years ago. And it had, I don't know, maybe 10 gigs of it. Like you shouldn't be able to go through 10 gigs of RAM in 3 or 4 months. That really does not make sense. And I'm telling you again, I have an authority in this tech space because I've used Apple products for years and I've seen the transition. Even when Apple transitioned from the Intel Macs to their now Apple Silicon Macs, you used to be able to upgrade your computers. You used to be able to go in there, upgrade the RAM, upgrade the storage, i.e. storage. Well, guess what? You couldn't do that for your iPhone. You just couldn't. You never upgrade. And, you know, guys out there, I know some of you may be using Androids or may have Androids in your position and in your possession, and you may be able to switch out SIM cards and all of that stuff. But the bottom line is, if you have an iPhone, you're probably having this issue, you know. So we're trying to get rid of storage warnings and storage messages, these alert messages that come on the iPhone. I don't want to, every time I go to shoot a video, I've got to play musical chairs with my file storages. So what are some things that I can sort of do? Well, over the years, what I've done is, you know, the first thing is you just simply have to delete files. Like you got to be able to keep up with how much you're using, where these files are going, and Apple will, your settings on your iPhone actually gives you the location of where these files are going, and you got to keep up with it. If it's not every week, you got to maintain it. You also need to make sure that you have purchased a external hard drive. I got one of those in here somewhere. Here it is. An external hard drive is a USB-C. This is a Lacy. I love Lacy, by the way. Something that you can store your files in, because Apple, and that's the thing with these companies, they know that you're not going to be diligent in how you maintain or your maintenance, because like the consumer is so simple. It's like, I don't want to have to do anything for myself. I want the companies to do everything for me. So yeah, they're going to charge you for that convenience. And if you're not uploading your files, you're going to get charged with the iCloud. I mean, it's plain and simple what it is. I'm going to put this back. But that's what I've been doing. Lately, I've been transferring all of my photos and files just to keep hold of the storage and to make sure that it's at a decent place where I'm not running out of it. And this actually started with my computers. I used to do this all the time, year in, year out. I have to check because it doesn't necessarily affect the iPhone, but with Apple computers and iMacs, it actually slows down it slows down the productivity or the functions of that Mac if you do not maintain a certain amount of storage space in your computer. Maybe not necessarily for the iPhone, but it absolutely happens for the Mac. So what am I saying? Make sure that you have an external hard drive that you can transfer these files into. Make sure that you are looking at how much you are actually using up the space that you're using. The photos, the videos, they add up quickly. Even your messages, you're sending messages with videos in them. There's in your settings of your iPhone, you can look this up and you can even set your message to be deleted after a certain number of days. So these are some things that you can sort of do. There's another thing that you can also do, believe it or not. And I want you to look this up. I don't have the actual location of it, but I believe it's in your settings. What you can do is you can optimize your photos and videos. Now, optimization means that what is happening is your photos are being stored in the iCloud and being compressed. So you may see them as compressed, so they look like pixelated in your photos, in your videos, or your photos mainly. Your photos look pixelated, but when you go to click on it, it will pull from the iCloud and give you the regular storage. And so this sort of helps to free your space. Look it up, optimize your photos on your iPhone. That's another way that you can, sort of maintain your storage space, but you gotta keep deleting stuff. You got to keep deleting stuff. What I want to say too also is there is this space of other. I don't know if you've seen on your Mac, if you go into your settings or your iPhone, you go into your settings and you look at, they give you a itemized list or listing of what and where these files are going, where the storage is going to, if it's going to photos, if it's going to videos, if it's going to other media, where there is another category called other. Like other? Like, can you tell me where my storage is getting zapped? Where's it going to? Like, Apple, let me know what's going on. And I've done a little bit of research, and it seems as though this other category of where the storage is being built up it seems to be it's internet based. So they're cache files. They're all of these types of files that when you go to use your iPhone throughout the day, you're browsing, you're looking through different fields. Oh, looks like my screen went off. I hate when that happens, but this is just all a part of recording. But what I'm saying is when you go to, when you're on your iPhone and you are looking at these, what am I saying? You're looking at these fields. When you're on your iPhone throughout the day and you're looking on the internet, you're searching, you may have downloaded something. All of this information is yet stored in your iPhone. It never gets pulled away. It never gets refreshed, because we know the internet is basically a big marketplace of copies. Like, it's just copies upon copies. And these copies are staying on your iPhone. And so this is the other space. This is what I believe the other space is. And it's really not fair to iPhone users to get all of your storage used up by quote unquote other storage space or other space, which is it's internet files. It really is. So you gotta kind of watch out for this. And like I said, it's going back to you making sure that you're taking your files and you're taking your photos and you're getting them off your source, whether it be an iPhone or computer, and you're putting it on some type of external hard drive or another space that you can, retrieve at a later date, right? And this helps to free up your space. You got to monitor your usage. Like, it's just important that you do that. So I recommend, like I said, I recommend external hard drives, USB drives. I recommend, and these are drives you can hook up for your iPhone. There are cloud alternatives. Now, I'm not a big fan of the cloud. I don't like it at all. I try to avoid it at all costs. I know there's going to be a day where I probably will not be able to avoid this, but for now, this is what I'm doing. This is my opinion. This is the way I feel. You determine how you want to store your files. But there are iCloud files such as Google Photo, there's Dropbox, there's OneDrive. I've even used a temporary source, which is WeTransfer.com. It's amazing, amazing source. I'm not getting paid to say that, but I like WeTransfer.com. You can transfer up to two gigs of RAM to your email. And I've had to juggle this space for years and years and years. So these are options in the cloud that you can use. But this is the part that they don't really talk about. And Apple could give us more space. They could give us more space. We could get more storage space. But they don't want to mess up their upselling model. This upselling model has lasted, and it has generated them millions and billions of dollars throughout the years. The upsell model is You can get the latest iPhone, but it might only have 10 gigs in it. No, I'm exaggerating. It's probably going to have up to 128 gigs. I know the iPhone 17 is going to be released this September, and you can get that. You can get that phone, but you're going to get the base model, which is not going to give you enough storage space. You'll probably get 28 gigs, which is still a lot. Like, that's a lot for a phone. Even 10 years ago, that was a lot. Even that was massive for, like, an iPad. But Apple is about upselling. They're about repeat customers. They want you to come back. They don't want you to just buy one time. So if they give you just enough storage to appease your appetite for just enough time, and then when you get invested in the product, you have to come back and buy more iCloud service. And you know this because you can go to apple.com. If you want to purchase a product, you'll have your base model, and then you're going to have extra RAM. It's going to be $400. Extra storage is going to be $700. This is an upsell method. I've heard a creator say they call it the ladder method, the step up method, or the ladder method. So you get at the bottom of the ladder, you get the most basic. As you climb up the ladder, the prices become even more expensive. What am I saying? If you're buying iCloud, or if you're purchasing iCloud, that may be something that is beneficial to you, especially if you have a business. You kind of have to get in. I don't even know what the prices are. What they $29.99 a month, $59. Go look it up. I said, once again, like I said, I don't use iCloud necessarily. But if you're getting that iCloud pop up, I feel for you, because that little red one that sits in on top of your app, it's designed to wear you down, and it's not going to wear me down. I'm just, a lot of people are just like, okay, well, I'll pay for the convenience. And you're stuck on monthly subscription. I did a video about monthly subscriptions about a week and a half ago, and I've gotten some good feedback on that, and people are like sort of up in arms about Apple's their move towards hardware subscriptions, which I believe. I'm not saying this is fact. This is something that I can see that's going to happen. That's going on. Being in this space for the years that I've been in, and I've been on YouTube for about 3 or 4 years. Not enough to fully be an expert, but I have enough authority to sort of, share with you my opinion and where I think these things are going. But the iCloud is absolutely there to make you have to pay more money. Like, it's just what it is. So my question to you is, like, what is, let me know in the comments, what is a good amount of space for storage for your iPhone? And I'm looking back in the back of my computer. You see my computer went to sleep on me. All of this saving energy, right? So that's what we're doing. We're saving energy. That kind of gets on my nerves. That's why I had to press that button. But my question is, how much is enough storage space for you as an iPhone user? Is 128 gigs? I keep defaulting to that. Is a 256 gigs enough storage space for you? Well, it is if you're not going to upgrade your iPhone in the next 8 to 10 months. But it ain't if you're using photos and videos. And I have family members that use their photos, and they take photos. They got like thousands and thousands upon thousands of photos. I'm probably bad at as well. But my idea of saving photos and videos is, what I do is what I've learned over the years is I will save but so many videos and photos till I'm like, okay, I need to get this off of my phone or off of my computer to an external drive. If you have an Apple computer, a MacBook, an iMac, Mac Mini, this is actually very important for you to do, because you actually it's necessary for you to have at least 40 to 40% of your storage free and complete and clear, because that allows your Mac to better work, to be more efficient in its processes and what goes on in the background of it. But today we're talking about iPhones. So that's kind of where we are in this space. Apple is just about making money, and you've got to be clear about this. And this other category of cache or cache files, app data is a huge one. Even apps themselves. Like how many apps do you have that you actually use? Like how many apps do you use a day? I probably use maybe about 6 or 7. It's only but so many apps that you can use a day, right? And we have this whole concept. The consumer gets so many options throughout their consumer life that you basically have all of these options, and you don't even use 2 or 3 of them. So like the more options you have, it doesn't really necessarily benefit you. But I'm saying all that to say, once again, you wanna check in and to see, because I know this is true. These other files, the app datas, the messages, the downloads are what is really bogging your iPhone storage down, and it's gonna probably be an issue coming up soon for you if it's not already an issue right now. So I know you're tired of the screen getting the message of, oh, upgrade to the iCloud, upgrade, because your iCloud is your storage is low. Your storage is low. That is so aggravating, guys. I'm telling you, it's very aggravating. But that is what it is. So what I want you to do is I want those, if you are actually in the market for an Apple computer, if you're looking to purchase or buy, if you don't have any knowledge, like if you're like, I'm stuck, I'm kind of overwhelmed. I'm on the Apple website and I'm sort of looking for this new Mac that I want to purchase. If you're a teacher, if you're if you just want a MacBook or an iMac, if you want a new computer, if you want to upgrade, what I have for you is in the description. If you would click, there is a guide that I actually wrote myself from all of the experience that I had over the years of purchasing Apple products. Now, I purchased most of my Apple products used, but I understand the concept of being, not even the concept, the reality of being overwhelmed when you go to purchase an Apple product. You go on the website, it's so many, like I said, so many options. And what I want to have, or what I have for you in the description, click on the link in the description of this video. And I have an Apple guide, a computer guide that will help you and guide you based off of whatever category you're in. If you're in the graphic design category, if you're in just the teacher or administration category, if you're just looking to have something for leisure, just internet surfing, I have all of these categories sort of broken down. It's a guide to help you to purchase your Apple computer, because I know for a fact when you go in the Apple store, if you're on Apple online, you're going to be intimidated, and we all get intimidated by what's thrown at us. Not to mention we get so many commercials, Apple commercials about, buy this, buy that. It's like the shiniest object. You ought to get it. They're just trying to get you in the store. Like they understand marketing. It's just the marketing world is just like Apple has it like on lock. Like it's no game, because they make billions and billions of dollars. But I would encourage you, if you are looking for a computer, click on that link. It's one-time price. You get this guide and it will help you with your products. And once again, I want to tell you guys, thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe to this video or subscribe to this channel, rather. You can like the video. I had those I had those backwards, right? But subscribe to the channel and like the video. And as you can see, I'm sort of in this sort of style where I'm really kind of talking out my heart. I want to really kind of give you the experience of what I've experienced over the years in owning Apple products. You can bring to it your comments. Please leave comments. I love the community where we can talk back and forth and sort of be, we're just all learning together. And hey guys, I do have a little bit of experience in this. I don't know everything, but this is why I'm here, to assist you. Or if there are any questions or comments that you would like to address, please feel free to stay tuned. And I am on live most Tuesdays and Fridays at 6:30 a.m. in the morning. for my live videos, we just talk about tech news and all the happenings in the world. It just doesn't, it's just not specific to Apple all the time. Sometimes I'll just talk about tech in general, like AI space, the AI space, what's going on from Meta to Nvidia. I don't know. We could talk about stocks, a little bit of political stuff, not that much. I'm not really trying to tackle that. It's enough of that going on. But just stay tuned and join me for those lives if you get a chance. This is Brett with Anvil, and I'll see you soon.